Now I am going to show you the a bit complicated Java 21 feature, which is a preview feature. So let me first run this code and then I can show you the. Let me run this code. Yeah. So I am in. If I run this code, you will see that I am using enable preview and source 21. So I'm using these two flags. So enable preview is to compile. Since I'm using Java, it's a JDK 11 feature where I can compile and run the code in the same command. So I'm using Java, giving the compile flag enable preview and giving the source 21 to tell that it is sourced from 21. The preview features are from 21 version. And this is I am using Jakarta JSON APIs for JSON parsing and JSON creation. So I am using that in the class path. So that is irrelevant to this demo. So here again, I have given the for the help for somebody who is cloning this repo, they can understand from where it is coming from. So you have this JEP, you have the commit from the OpenJDK team for this feature, and then you have different which the different links I clicked, those are available here. So that, and how to, from which build onwards it is available. So from build 22 onwards, this feature is available from the JDK Java Net. That's a early access build. So this code, let me quickly show you how can we do this, use this feature. So earlier, to know the utility of a feature, we should understand the pain points. So pain points, coming to the pain points, these are directly taken from the JEP document. So if you want to say, if you want to write a mathematical equation, and what it does, you will say x plus y equals x plus y, and then you add lot of pluses in the middle to concatenate. So and also it will, what will do is that x is an int, right? So uh, it will box it to to integer class, and then it will do to string and then plus then y. Same thing happens here, and then you can give out print it out this way. So this is the normal string concatenation with plus operator. It's a hard to read code because this is a simple example, but it's a variable and some string mixed together with different objects. And second thing is string builder. String builder is verbose, means for just writing a simple line as in like this line 10 plus 20 equals 30. You have to do string builder append. So as many times you want to append something, and then to string. So internally, obviously, if you go internally, what how many things it will doing, that we will understand that it's a too much over engineering or too much verbosity is there to just to do simple task, just to avoid multiple string object creation. And there are other things as well, like for example string dot format static method, where we can give lots of formatting options, and the whatever what data we are substituting, so that data we can substitute here when give the substitutions in the form of variables here. So you can give say format, and then you can do give all the variables here. So here the issue will be, if we give, it will not check at the compile time how many uh, placeholders are there and how many variables you have passed, and it will give arity and type mismatches, because the decimal or an integer can be given as a string and a character can be given as a integer. So all these things at the runtime you may get an error. So these things are cumbersome. Similarly, it is for the string dot formatted. And message format also, again, some people might have used it for error messages. For error messages, we might have used something like this curly braces, zero placeholder, one, two, and then it is this zero, one, two are nowhere related to the grammar or to to the English, to the language where we are producing the sentence for. So there we can have, so person who does not understand this sentence can substitute or pass different variables of different types in a wrong way. So that is again a problem. It is not readable as well. It is way too much. It's basically adding some notations with English language. Now comes the string template processor. So string template processor is a bit complicated if I want, if I want to explain it to the depth. but very usage wise it is very simple. So let me start with the usage rather than going into deep into what it is. So string um, in higher level, if you just want to understand what is a string template processor, it's a interface with some methods, and that interface has a parent class which is a template processor, and you get to use a simple notation like this. So string str is a by default given by the JDK. It will be added as a static member of the class automatically by Java 21. So we don't have to create this. So whenever create a class, this str object will be created directly. A reference will be created directly. So here we can say str dot my name is, then the notation is backslash and then curly braces the name. So here the name is nothing but the variable name. So you can, if you name the variables beautifully according to standards, or if you are naming them as per the data that is containing, so that is no, it is not equivalent to this like 0 1 2, or like just giving the data type D or S. It is basically the directly the variable name you can type here, and then you can say this. So I have two variables, name and programming language. So I want to I want to print that my name is and I love programming in Java. So I can say my name is, they give a backslash and then the curly braces, give the variable name here, and I can say I love. So when I print this, this will be printed. My name is and I love programming in Java. Similarly, you can use simple things. For example, you can reuse the same variables to create different strings. So you can have first name, last name. You can give full name, sorted name, or you can play with it. So if you have the variable names, you can create different strings out of it from the string template processor. And embedded strings can also perform arithmetic operations. So if you give x plus y, and x and y I already have defined in the top, so these are integers. So if you say str and give the x and y values, and say x plus y, so this will be printed directly, and it will do the arithmetic operation for you. So 10 plus 20 equals 30. Or the best thing is that you can invoke methods as well. So get message type is a method here which returns proposal. So I have returned a string called proposal. So you have a, so when it runs, it will print this for you. You have a proposal waiting for you. So you can have some methods already and you can refer them from the string template. And you can also use not only this, but you can use the records. So we have a record called access request, which takes date, time, and an IP address. So IP address is a string, so it can, you can use the records fields directly here. So record is the, this is a record, and I am using date, time, and IP address as it's directly the data. I can use it in my string template. I can even to, so that people can use JDK 21 and they can refactor their code from using the earlier patterns to this pattern. They can use this. This is the old pattern, like we use the plus operator to concatenate the string literals with some variables, which implicitly will call toString, and then use we can use we can use this tertiary operators, or we can play with it. Similarly, we can do here, and we can. So this IDE actually does not understand this feature. That's why it is giving different code, a different color for these things. So actually, this is not a, this completely is a string. From here to here, it is completely a string. It is not able to understand this as a, because it is terminating here. So this is a string template. In that template, we have used inside the backslash and the curly braces, we can use tertiary operators as well inside the string template as well. So this will give you the same content. The file does not exist, the file does not exist for both of them. So here we don't have to write, we can use the same template and use it to create a string out of the box. And double quotes can be used inside the string template. That is what we wanted to show here, that even though we have ternary operator and these double quotes are there inside the entire string template, it will not throw a compilation issue. Now comes, let me show you some other things as well, like we can use decrements, increments, and we can use nested notations as well, expressions as well. For example, a string template can have embedded expression inside a embedded expression. For example, we have this string template which prints Java, Scala, and Groovy. We can print, we can have skill 0 as the first embedded expression in the parent string template, and then we can have another notation inside that. We can again have a string template, so it can be nested. This is one of the feature which I like the most, is the multi-line template expressions. I even though I don't use Java 17 most often, but this is Java 17 is a gift from Java 17, I think 15 onwards, that we have this multi-line text blocks, and we can use them. And let's suppose we have a text block like this where we have a HTML code, or then we can embed the title variable and the text variable directly inside it. It will directly print out this beautiful HTML like this. So with this, we can directly print it out. And one more thing is, you want to create a JSON object, you just create a JSON looking string here with the username, phone, and address variables. And when it will, when it converts into toString, you will have this. And we can format something like a table, like if you want to format it. So these are the things which we can do. One more thing is a very nice feature here is that, let's suppose you want to create a JSON object from a string. So what will you do? You will use some libraries like Jackson, and you can use Jakarta JSON P libraries. And then, for example, I have used them, and I can read the JSON string, this JSON string, and I can format it to create the JSON object. So, but here the thing is that you are doing the same thing with the use of a older mechanism, and here there is no way to validate the data which is being sent to you. This username, phone, and address, it cannot be validated at all. It just you are reading the object and creating it. So if you want to really create it, validate it, and then only produce the JSON object, what you can do is you can use the string template processor interface, and say that for a string template passed, you can internally do some extra business logic or any logic inside, put some logic inside it, and create a return a JSON object directly. So this has two important impacts. One is that you are encapsulating the creation of the JSON object internally with a new processor. So that processor can now implement different tech stack. It can implement JSON Jakarta libraries. It can implement Jackson. It can implement JSON. So you are giving user this JSON string template processor, which user can use to create JSON objects. And this can be abstracted or hidden from the user, and how we are creating it. In the earlier one, the user is directly impacted or directly using the libraries. Here, if you create a processor which which is passed a string template, and the string template is used to create the JSON object, what we can do now is, with this JSON processor, we can just say JSON dot give the text block, and these are all referring to the variables, and you will directly get JSON object. So JSON object is the direct result of this simple code. Now this JSON string template processor can be used multiple times in the code, and we can create a JSON object out of it. And we can add more validations inside it. For example, you can before interpolating these values, for example, the username, phone, address, now you can have the flexibility to add validations. So you can say if the phone number is not 10 digits, so you can add this is a part of this string template custom declaration. So whenever you say JSON dot something, some text block or string, immediately you can create either a validated JSON object rather than creating a JSON object of whatever values these contain. So you can add business logic to this, and this will be hidden from the user. And yeah, so these are the things, and this is the record I was talking about. So I have created record and I've created a method as well.